Welcome to A Healthy You. I'm Carol Ault. Do you remember growing up and having your parents tell you how important it was to eat your veggies? Well, you know they're right. And I can't stress enough just how important they are. But are they sexy? Well, maybe they are. And if you don't believe me, maybe these two lovely ladies can convince you that your veggies are just so sweet. Plus, are you suddenly having trouble fitting into those jeans? Or maybe that cute little dress you bought in October is just a little too snug? Well, not to worry. If you put on some weight over the holidays, we've got a terrific Pilates instructor here to help us melt away those pesky pounds. But first, aspartame is the technical name for artificial sweeteners like NutraSweet and Equal. It's used in foods as a sugar substitute, and it just might be the most dangerous additive we willingly put into our bodies. Notice the word willingly. Here with the lowdown on why we should rid our diet of aspartame is Dr. Joseph Mercola. Dr. Mercola, thank you so much for being here with us. So, aspartame, what exactly is it?
Well, it's an artificial sweetener that's commonly used by most to lose weight because it's typically in diet products. But the challenge here is that it doesn't cause you to lose weight. In fact, most of the studies that look at this topic show that it actually causes you to gain weight. So that's the primary challenge. But in addition to that, it's loaded with side effects. And in fact, there are more reported complaints to the FDA than all other food additives combined. And even the FAA has, or most airlines require or strongly discourage pilots from using it because of the risk of seizures and loss of consciousness.
Before they fly,
yes.
All right, so my first question was, what is it? So what is it? What is it made of? Where does it come from?
Well, aspartame specifically is a derivative of, it's a chemical product, it's synthetic.
So it's a complete synthetic, it's completely chemical, it's not found in nature, it's something we make, and
that's the definition of artificial sweeteners, they're synthetic.
And it's also a neurotoxin, is it not?
It can be, yes. It's the breakdown products turn into a neurotoxin. Formaldehyde specifically, which is the fluid.
Oh my God, formaldehyde, wait. Formaldehyde is what we embalm bodies with.
Yes.
So when we say it's a neurotoxin, that means it stimulates in a bad way the brain, because neurotoxin, it's a toxic to the brain.
It can cause things like seizures,
right,
which is why it's the...
That was my next question. Give us some symptoms of
symptoms, autoimmune disorders like MS. And it can also contribute to migraines. And in fact, anyone who has a migraine that's watching this, they really need to get off of any drinks that contain aspartame because it's a really common problem. In fact, my sister, who was my office manager for 20 years, she had her first migraine. We didn't know what it was, but she had these symptoms that simulated a stroke. And then we tied it back to the aspartame. And anytime she has any product that has it, even though it's not listed, it invariably contact the manufacturer. There's some aspartame in there. It's a common migraine trigger.
It's unbelievable because it's so prevalent in our society. In fact, a person yesterday close to me said, I'm going to have that double whatever latte thing that he gets at Starbucks with aspartame in it. And I went,
sure,
that's aspartame.
Yes.
Splenda, I think he wanted, or Equal, or one of the two.
Aspartame is about the worst of all of them, and the reason they're doing it is to have flavor, but also to lose weight. And the real challenge is it doesn't help them lose weight.
Well, why don't people care? He didn't care. He was like, oh, okay, whatever. And I'm like, you really should care. This is really detrimental to your health.
Because they've been hoodwinked and manipulated by the media, telling them that there's no problems or challenges with it, and they've really hidden and covered that up.
All right, so I got you a little gift here.
Well, thank you.
Okay, this is a sugar caddy. You see this on the table when you eat at a restaurant, and it's got 3 different kinds of things. Now, I'm not a person who eats aspartame. In fact, I remember cutting diet soda out of my diet because I found when I cut it out, I actually lost 5 pounds immediately. And I realized there was something in diet soda that was actually causing me to bloat up or gain weight. So diet may not be so diet. But here is Equal.
Right, which is another, that's the...
Aspartame, yes?
Well, it says Equal, but there's sucralose under it. Equal typically is aspartame, but they maybe have a combination product here.
Okay.
Maybe, or they renamed Equal to sucralose. Maybe they changed it. The last time I looked at Equal, it was aspartame, but this clearly says sucralose.
Okay.
Which is Splenda.
Which is Splenda.
Yeah.
Okay, and what is this? This is another Equal. It's a blue one.
Gosh, so this is equal classic. I never realized, because I never look at that, so I have no idea what was
See, I
going
never
on.
look at it either. That's why I'm
But
asking you, because it's
Equal
confusing.
classic is, of course, aspartame, but the new equal, the yellow one, is Splenda. So I guess that's the way that you find out. The color, typically the yellow is Splenda or sucralose, and the blue is aspartame.
Now, is
Or-
Splenda better or worse or the same?
Actually, I wrote a whole book on Splenda, which is called Sweet Deception. And it is probably not as bad as aspartame, but really there are so much better
Is it
alternatives. It's wise not to use any of these.
Is it also synthetic?
Yes, absolutely. It's a derivative of sugar, and it's got chlorines on it.
Oh.
In many ways, it's not much different than DDT. It's in the similar family.
This one here?
This one is a cyclamate, I think, a saccharin. I think this is saccharin. Yes, sweet and low is saccharin.
Okay. All right. Give us some alternatives that we could reach for instead of this on the table.
Actually, in the restaurant, if you really need a sweetener, your really best alternative is sugar. I didn't
Sugar,
realize
honey.
sugar and honey. Yeah, those
Okay.
would both
Something
be
for
better. But if you-
diabetics. Yucca? Did you talk
Oh,
about?
absolutely.
Or...
Well, there are some natural sweeteners that have been around for centuries, like stevia,
Okay.
and it comes as a powder or liquid, and that's
Truvia in Whole Foods.
Truvia is an extract and probably not as safe as the whole process.
You are teaching me so much here.
Anytime you process the plant, you're going to run into problems. But there's another one that many people have not heard of. It's just called monk fruit, and it's typically from Madagascar in Africa, and it's also a natural sweetener, been around a long time, and has really no side effects. It's very sweet and can help them. And you can also use carbonation or put a low sugar fruit like lemons or limes to sweeten it up for you and give you that taste.
Well, there's great alternatives. I'm so happy you came on to talk about this. I think it's a hot topic. Thank you, Dr. McCullough, for being here with us.
All right, well, thank you for having me, Carol.
Get your workout clothes ready.